Welcome to our Growing Together with Kellie Penn. We're going to be discussing reaching international students. Kellie is a wife, mom, photographer, and international missionary. Her family serves the international students at the University of Illinois. She can often be found on her porch drinking coffee, drinking bubble tea on campus with students, or we said hanging out with her family, but we also said maybe staring at her fridge, trying to decide what to cook for dinner, like all of us. Um, so she has a lot of resources and is in the thick of it of reaching international students. And so, Kellie, thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad to be here with you all tonight. I'm really excited to get to share more about us and our ministry and what we do with students. And I just really feel like it's just one of the best gifts that I've been given for ministry to get to do this. So a little bit about me. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I have 2 in college at Grand Canyon University and 1 at home. He's a freshman in high school. So it's busy times with that, and also a weird transition stage in life with my children becoming college students, and we work with college students. When we started doing this, they were all really young, like kindergarten, first grade, and like 2 years old. So it's a very different stage of life. So they have grown up doing the student ministry with us. So it's been a pretty amazing thing. Like I said, I'm a photographer, international missionary to the foreign field of Illinois, which I know is confusing, but we'll go through that. And I generally have either a coffee or Diet Coke in my hand at all times. I probably should drink more water, but that's a little bit about me. So the our team has started to expand, which we were so excited about. When Tyler and I first started this 10 years ago, we were kind of the ones that were starting it. We wanted to start a church here in Champaign, Illinois, whose main outreach would be to the international student population here. And so we were going to be the church planners, and we were hoping to bring in furloughed missionaries or someone else that could take over the international student part of it. But everything we were doing with the community was just not really taking off. And we found ourselves like soaring with the students. And we're like, okay, this is interesting. Because at that time, there wasn't this position available. So we were thankful that the denomination said, actually, we see this as a very viable thing, and transitioned us from NAM to international missions. So we switched from home missions to international missions and became full-time international missionaries. So we work at our team. So our team is expanding. We have Darren and Dana Portell that recently got fully funded, which we are so excited about. And they will be moving up to Champaign here in the next couple months. So we are thrilled to have ministry partners. So that is all new for us. We attend the Bridge Church, which Ed and Rachel Good are the pastor and pastor's wife of. So now that we'll just be able to continue to expand our outreach with them being there too. And then we have the Mercers at the University of Missouri doing this as well. So it is pretty excited to see it's not just Tyler and I doing it anymore, that there are more people doing it. So as I said, we work with the international students at the University of Illinois. So University of Illinois has over 14,000 international students. That's a lot of students. Approximately 1 out of every 4 students on campus are an international. So when you walk around campus, you hear all kinds of different languages spoken. When you go to the grocery store, you go to the mall, like it's weird if you don't hear other languages spoken because it's such an international community. It's kind of weird for me to like travel somewhere else and like be in a Walmart and be like, wait, I only hear English. So I'm so used to living in such a diverse community there. When we started this 10 years ago, there were about 6,000 international students. So we went from 6,000 to over 14,000. So it has greatly increased in the past 10 years, which is exciting, and why we're thrilled that we're going to have some more people coming to do it with us. I'm trying to keep my notes, look at my slides to see where I'm at here. So with our process, as to like, how do you meet the students? How does this work? So I'm going to kind of talk through our process. And then at the end, I'm also going to share with you guys ideas on how you can get involved with international students or the internationals around you. And at the end, like be thinking of questions for me and brainstorming as we go, because I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas too. So our process is connect, invite, create. So that's kind of the framework that we have done with the students. We connect with our students by the process of connect is to connect with people by meeting needs. So we do that through English Corner. So English Corner is a registered student organization at the University of Illinois. So Tyler and I came alongside and said, hey, we're just wanting to be hands and feet of an organization. We knew we didn't have to recreate the wheel. There were already people doing it, and they just need volunteers. So we thought we can come in and help. In the 10-year transition, Tyler is now director of English Corner. But when we first started, it was just people to be hands and feet. So English Corner, at the beginning of the semester, they have what's called Quad Day on campus. And imagine if you've been to the National Convention of Free Will Baptists, the booths that we go through and get all of our swag from the booths. Imagine that like on steroids. The whole quad, there's actually like 2 quads back to back, are just full of tables and all kinds of different registered student organizations. There is a student club for anything you can imagine on campus. October Lovers Club, like basically anything, like Harry Potter, like there's just all the things. But there's a whole row of just international student focused clubs. So the students will walk by. Well, we have our signage, we're wearing our t-shirts, and we get to meet them then. So they'll sign up to get on our email list, and then they'll start attending on, some of them will start attending on Thursday evenings at our English Corner activity. We also run conversation groups through English Corner. I do a coffee and bubble tea conversation group once a week with the students, which is super fun for me. I love getting to take them to my different favorite coffee shops or bubble tea shops on campus and try new drinks with them. And it's just a lot of fun to experience new flavors, to watch them try different things. They make me try different things. So it's just a fun way to try new things at the different coffee shops. My husband thinks he has figured out the Zoom thing. So we are going to try it real quick, if you don't mind. Hey guys, look, I have screen. Woo, this makes my job so much easier than having to try to describe it all. Okay, good. Look, see, I made this cute slide. So I'm glad that you guys get to see it. Thank you for dealing with the little technical. There's my cute family. We're going to flip through those real fast since we already talked through it. There's our team that I was talking about. And so at the our team, our logo, us in the Portels, is to reach a student, reach the world. So our hope is that when we reach a student, they're going to go back with the gospel to their home country and areas that we can't get access to. So it's a pretty neat mission, and we're just excited that we get to play our part in it. So we've talked about the University of Illinois. We're getting close to being caught up. The connect, invite, create that I was talking about. English Corner. Okay, so this is English Corner I was talking about. So you can see me with that mural wall there, and the international students with my bubble tea and coffee group. The picture on the top is the quad day that I was talking about. And so then English Corner also does fun field trips and different things. Like at the bottom one, we took them to an apple orchard, and there's just fun things that they get to do. Take them to corn mazes, go to escape rooms, bowling, you know, all different kinds of things that we just do in the community that we just get to bring students along with us. So from there, when we get to meet the students, we invite them into our home, hobbies, and holidays. And with the invitation, our goal is to build trust by sharing life with them. So that picture there, you can see us at Thanksgiving dinner together. So before I started this, I would just always go to either, my dad and stepmom's house or my mother-in-law's house, and they made the turkey, they made the sides, they did all the things. I just got to show up and eat. Now I had to learn how to do all of it. So me and Pioneer Woman Cookbook became best friends. We learned a lot. So I have kind of mastered the Thanksgiving meal, and it has been a lot of fun to get to try to grow in those areas. A lot of my role in this ministry is hospitality. So there is a lot of cooking and different things involved with it, but I do enjoy it. So it's fun to get to see them try different things that they've never had before. Most of them have never had a Thanksgiving meal. So that's fun. And sometimes they bring things with them. So they'll bring like pickled catfish or something to add to our table on Thanksgiving. So, you have your sweet potatoes and pickled catfish. So if you'd like to come try that sometime, it's really not my favorite, but Tyler enjoys it. Or they'll just bring different sides or things from their home countries, but not everyone does, but it's always unique. So my Thanksgiving table sometimes may look a little different than your Thanksgiving table. At the beginning of the semester, we invite the students to our house for a bonfire and we make s'mores. So this was the start of maybe 2 years ago. And so we had, 50, 60 international students at our house. So it was a crazy time with that many people trying to grill a hot dog over a fire and make s'mores, but it was a lot of fun. And getting to watch them taste the s'more for the first time, it's always really neat. Usually it's either this is delicious or this is way too sweet. They definitely laugh at how much sugar we use here in America, but we love it. It's so good. But it's just their first time getting to come into a home. And that is a big deal for students. About 80% of international students, and this study was done a while back, never step foot inside of American's home. So they really desire to get invited into a home, but most of them don't get the opportunity. And that statistic actually came out in 2012. My thought is that's probably actually higher post-COVID. I don't think that in general, people invite each other into homes, even like among our friends. I don't think that it's really shifted. So if it's shifted in our own world, it's probably definitely shifted in how often people are inviting students into their world. So it's a big deal to get invited. And it's fun to get to see them walking through my house, like FaceTiming their parents, like, look where I am. I'm at their house. And that gets such a fun thing for them to get to see. They're like FaceTiming their parents, like, look, there's a deer head on the wall. Like, these people are crazy. So it's something that's just really fun to see. Tyler was talking to one of our Korean friends, and he was like, I was scrolling through like vlogs that he was looking at. He goes, and your house was on one of them. Tyler's like, show me. And one of the students who's like a Korean influencer or whatever, she was at our home. And she was going through videoing everything and then like put it out there, and like just how excited she was to get to be invited to our house. So I just like that we just get to be that for someone. It's pretty fun. In our house, we have this big map in our hallway. And if you look, you can see all kinds of different signatures on that map. And so those are students that have been in our home. In the dark wood section, there's a lot of names on there as well. Taiwan has drew their own country because it was way too full in the map, but it's been really neat to walk by and look at this on the daily basis, just to think it's so cool how many students have walked through the doors of our home. And like, they just love it, like getting to see their names and getting to be a part of it. So we invite them to Easter, which will be coming up for us. So that's definitely something you can pray about. We take the students to church with us. And then most of them have never been to church before. And then they get to come to our house. I pulled out Pioneer Woman again, and I have made more different foods for Easter. We'll dye eggs. My children will hide eggs for them, and they'll run around and hunt eggs. And it's actually really fun for them to kind of get to experience some Easter traditions and activities. In the top, you can see Christmas baking day. So that is a day that's mass chaos in my kitchen because there's a lot of people trying to cook bake at the same time, but it's really so much fun. My mom passed away when I was in high school, so I get to show them her recipes and things that I used, and I get to, it's a shared experience. They get to try different things, they get to hear some of my story, and I get to overload them with sugar. So it's a pretty fun night. Um, the other picture you see there is like Super Bowl. We always have students with us on Super Bowl Sunday, and they get to cheer on the game. Most of them have never watched football and have no idea what's going on, but the food's good. So it's a really fun time. So then we go through going from English corner to becoming friends with them, inviting them into our personal lives to hopefully being able to create pathways of faith. In this photo here that you see, the guy on the end, he was in my book club that I was doing. So it was him and a couple girls that was in my book club. And this was, I mean, nearly 9-10 years ago when I started doing it. And so he was there. And then at the end of the semester, he left and then came back in January. And he's like, I got married. I'm like, what? I didn't even know you were engaged. But he did his undergrad at the University of Arizona, and his fiance was attending there. He went and they got married. And then that next semester, she came and joined us. And then our families became very close. And so we got to be with them as they were married. I photographed their maternity pictures or the newborn photos and family photos for them. They started attending church with us. They now live in California, so I'm sad they're not with us anymore, but she just graduated with her doctorate, and Tyler and I were invited to be her guests along with her parents that came over from China. So it was just really special to get to be a part of their lives. But it's just taken a lot of time and a lot of relationship building, but you get to see the fruit of that as they were, when they came back to visit. It's like, we can't wait to go back to Bridge Church and, see everyone. So it's just a really neat thing to have them get to be a part of our daily lives and that we've introduced Jesus to them. In 2019, we were able to take our family to Macau and Taiwan and Korea. And we got to see about 20 of our international students, 20 to 25 in their home countries. And it's just neat to see the relationships that we've made with them and to hear some of their stories. Like one of those girls from Taiwan, she became a believer while she was here. So it's just neat to get to see her and get to experience life with her in her country. And they got to, we got to try all of their foods while we were over there too. It was funny because they would never let us pay. They're like, we have eaten in your home so many times. It's our turn to pay for your meal this time. We're like, no, we're fine. They're like, no, you are our guest. So it was just really neat that we got to have that shared experience with them in their home countries. So I'm looking forward to getting to go back and visit some of those countries again, or other countries that our other students are from. So a question a lot of people ask is like, how can I get involved with international students? So we're going to kind of go through that. So you do not have to do it as involved and complicated as we do, because really the whole process is simple. Connect, find students where they are, invite them into your homes, into your lives, and then create pathways of faith. And all of that takes is becoming a friend. So we are going to go through that. So I have 10 ways to get started with the international community around you. You may not have a bunch of students around you, but you may have like migrant workers near you, or you may have people that are working in a restaurant that don't speak much English, or you may have a college near you that has a lot of students. It just, wherever we live, generally, you can find someone from another country that probably needs a friend. So let's kind of identify ways to find them. So first, you could volunteer if your local schools, your elementary school, junior high, high school has an ESL program. You could volunteer to be a part of that. You can go in. I did that for a while at our elementary school, and it really was a boy from Syria had moved there spoke zero English. And I just sat with him with an iPad and we just like played games and started trying to teach him just a few basic concepts while he was there. So it's just a really neat way to get to bond and build connections and relationships with them. One thing that I think is if you have a lot of internationals in your community, it's just going to a local park and meeting young moms. A lot of times their husbands are professionals and are working, and these moms are pretty isolated and longing for friendships. So if you just go up and you get to meet them and show interest, it's a really great way to build a connection. And it could be like, hey, I'd love to take you to coffee sometime, and then eventually, hey, I'd love to bring you to my church. Like there's just pretty neat things, but there's just a lot of things that they're longing for more than anything is connection. You could start a cooking class. So if you want to find Pioneer Woman recipes, you can, or if you want to use your mom's recipes that you love, or just like we would do like how to make tacos for our students, or spaghetti, or some things that are basic, an American burger and home cut fries or whatever. Like it's just they just really want the experience more than anything. And the best conversations happen around kitchens and around a table. There's a lot of just life and shared experience that happens as you're eating around your kitchen table. You could host a lunch club. So if if there's like a library near you that allows you to post like a bulletin board of hey, I'm going to host a lunch club where we're going to go to different restaurants in town each week. And so you get to try different things. So it's a fun way for them to try restaurants they've never tried. You can teach them about tipping. Tipping in America is very much an American thing. They don't typically tip in other countries. So you get to kind of help them through that process. You can help them know how to ordering a burger or most things in America is actually kind of complicated when you aren't super familiar with the language. It's like, what do you want on your burger? What comes on it? And it's like, do you want ketchup? Do you want mustard? Do you want lettuce, tomato, cheese? Do you want they're like, I don't know, just give me a burger. So you can kind of help them through that process or teach them about the different sauces that are used or any of that. You can invite students to your home for various holidays throughout the year, like I had talked about there. So it doesn't have to be complicated. You're already going to be doing things for the holidays anyway, so you can just have a few extra people with you. Host a Christmas baking day, as we talked about earlier. You can have a fall bonfire at your home or at your church. So you may not have land where you can host a big bonfire. If you have a fire pit in your backyard, that works too. But you can have a few people. If you want to do something on a larger scale, then ask your church to help collaborate with you. And it's really a fun event for them. You can become a conversation partner. Like I said, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are generally already organizations that are doing this, that are looking for people to say yes and to come and just say, hey, I can lead a conversation group once a week. And they would love that. Another thing you can do is to befriend the wait staff at restaurants. So if you have, I'm just going to use the Mexican restaurant as an example. A lot of times they want to practice more of their English too. They are really good at questions for ordering, but they really want more of a conversational English where they can speak better with it. So if you go to that Mexican restaurant, you have a favorite server, that's something you can always offer as well. And just befriend them. Hey, I'd love to take you to coffee sometime, or you're so great to my family. I'd love to get to know your family or whatever. You can find different ways to connect. Invite students to your hobbies. If you're really into, I love photography. So I could have students like, hey, if you want to grab some cameras, we can all go to a park and take pictures of the blooming flowers or, anything like that. If you're into knitting or quilting, or if you're into scrapbooking, or if you love reading books, you can do a book club with the students. If whatever your hobby is, you can invite students into your life, and they're excited to get to experience those as well. So this picture here that you see is the students from the University of Missouri and the University of Illinois when we did a joint retreat this past fall at Camp Hope in Illinois. And it was just so fun to get to have the two schools come together and to see this vision that we've had for so long that has now duplicated. And we're just very thankful for the prayers and the support that the Bureau Baptists have given us. We're very thankful for WNAC. The women are an incredible backbone and prayer support and financial partner for missions. So we are super, super thankful. So that is the main part. And now I'm curious about ideas that you may have or things that you've found in your own communities. I'd love to hear.